confidence is something that, as you said, we can get as children, and in fact, kind of preschool, early primary school, a lot of kids would be confident in their abilities. If you said, who in this class is an artist or whatever, they'd all put their hands up. And yet by the time it comes to maybe about 4th or 5th class, they seem to be lacking that. They seem to have been taking a hit somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the problem with that, Howard, is that when children are little, we spend an awful lot of time rewarding them and complimenting. Every achievement is rewarded. Everything is great. They take their first steps and there's, applause, all sorts of things. But when children go into school, suddenly everything is measured. And then you have comparisons. A baby's not comparing whether they can walk beside, another toddler in their playgroup. But when they go to school, it's, well, can you draw? Can you write? Can you do your sums? And I think that measuring of our abilities is what knocks our confidence, because we think that our abilities are the measure of ourselves, but they're just our competencies. Our measure is actually about our own worth. And I think that gets affected when children go into school. So by the time they're getting to 5th and 6th class, yeah, sure, their confidence is affected because they're thinking that they are measured by their external abilities instead of knowing that they're measured by the person that they are.
Okay, so what we're looking at then is a competitive environment that they're introduced to, that they haven't really been prepared for as such. Is this a parenting thing now?
Well, I think all parents have the ability to support their children's confidence, and I think schools do a great job as well. But I think, the environment is very important, and so children measure also by their parents' reactions. And so if you have a parent who reacts in a particular way, depending on how the child does in school, whether it's good or bad, the child will absorb that because they're their first port of call when it comes to who they are. So, if you're frowning or you're doing the eye rolls or whatever as a parent, then your child is going to absorb that. And I think it's very important for parents to manage that. I know when I deliver courses for parents, I teach them about managing the type of language they use around their children, managing the way that they rewarding them, for an achievement, but not, comparing it to who they are. Like saying, if you say good boy, you're complimenting him for being a boy, or good girl. Whilst if you're saying you did really well in that test, then it's a different thing. It's not about them as a person. And I think we all, as adults, when we're around children, have to be very mindful of the way we speak to children so that we don't direct their skills into who they are, and that they can measure themselves separate to that. They say, I'm good at this, but I'm okay as this person. And sometimes that gets blurred, and I think the lines can get blurred very easily.
So it's a bit of a balancing act as such.
Absolutely.